Welcome back to another episode of Let It Ride. In this video, I'm going to be going over the two-game slate for the WNBA action on Thursday night. We'll talk about my analysis for each of those games. I'll let you guys know which way I'm leaning as far as the points and the spread, and then any picks that I put in for these games will live down below in the pinned comment later on. So don't forget to check back in so you can see if you'd like to ride along with me or if you're going to fade me. But I can't recap Wednesday's games, unfortunately, because they just tipped off about 45 minutes ago. So we'll throw that in the Friday video. We'll recap Wednesday and then tonight's games as well. So let's get into it. Our first game, we have the Dallas Wings taking on the Chicago Sky. Chicago is at home. They're laying 4.5 in this one with the over-under sitting at 161. Now, the Wings are 3-10 straight up. They're 6-7 to the number. Their losing streak now sits at 8. They've only covered twice in that span. They're losing those games by an average of 10 points per game. Now, the Sky aren't really faring much better. They're 4-9 straight up. They're 5-8 to the number. They've lost and failed to cover in 4 of their last 5. The Sky, they've struggled to put it together for a full 40 minutes as of late. They're either falling into these big holes that they can't dig themselves out of. This was evident against the Mystics, or they're playing solid for like 3 quarters before falling apart late, as this was the case against Indiana in their last time out. The absence of Elizabeth Williams is still being felt, and the Sky have struggled to adapt. They've been stretched thin in the front court, and they're relying heavily on their rookies, Cardoso and Reese. The Wings, though, they've been completely ravaged by injuries this season. They've been without Sabali all year. They've been without Natasha Howard for most of the year. Now team leader and leading scorer Arike Ogunbowale, she's missed their last game, and she's being listed as day-to-day with an Achilles soreness. Forward Maddie Segrist out indefinitely with a broken finger. So who's left for Dallas? Since their top 3 scorers are battling injuries now. Looks like McCowan, Billings. Who do we go to if we're Dallas? So I'm leaning Chicago to cover here. They beat the Wings by 9 in their last meeting. And Dallas, while not at full strength, they weren't without Arike or Segrist for that one. This looks like a good spot for the Sky to get a win and break that 4-game losing streak that they're on. They're at home. They're in this one with the rest advantage. Despite their own injuries that they're dealing with, they're healthier than Dallas. They own the better defense. And on top of that, Dallas has struggled all year on that side of the floor. With that said, I am leaning under in this game. I don't know where Dallas is going to get the points from. And Chicago is only 9th in points per game on the year. If I played anything in this game, it would probably be the total over the side. But in all honesty, this game is just not the most attractive game from a betting standpoint. And for our other game of the evening, we have the Los Angeles Sparks taking on the New York Liberty. New York is at home. They're laying 14.5 in this one with the over-under sitting at 164. Sparks are 4-11 straight up. They are 6-8-1 to the number. They've lost 4 straight now, and now they've lost rookie Cameron Brink to a torn ACL on top of it. The Liberty are 12-3 straight up. They're 6-9 against the spread, but 5-2 to the number over their last 7 games. They lost a tough, close game in their last outing to the Mercury on Tuesday, in which they were outscored by 13 in the 4th. Right off the top here, though, this spread, it's massive, right? I don't know how you look any other way but New York. The Sparks just aren't a good team. They're ranking 11th in offensive rating. They're 8th in defensive rating. That's good for a negative 7.6 net rating. That's a solid 18.9 point differential between them and the Liberty. The Liberty are at home in a bounce-back spot after that loss to Phoenix, which many felt that there were questionable calls there at the end of the game that helped sway that one out of New York's favor. The Liberty are making the 2nd most threes per game. The Sparks are the 3rd worst team as far as opponents' 3-point shooting percentage. 90% of the threes that the Liberty make, they're coming off assists, meaning the Liberty move the ball extremely well. They're finding the open shooter, and honestly, every one of them can knock the ball down. Stewie is their worst 3-point shooter percentage-wise, and we all know how she can get when she heats up. We just saw it against Phoenix. So I like New York here, but specifically I like the first quarter. Liberty have been by far and away the best first quarter team in the W this year. And for the total, I'm leaning over in this one for the full game, but I really like it. I already took it. The Liberty first quarter team total over 23.5. I could only find it on Bet365. I couldn't find it on any other sports books. So you might have to dig around. I don't know what's available to you guys in whatever states that you're in. But that first quarter team total over was sitting at 23.5 at minus 120 odds. So I jumped on that one before it goes up. I have a feeling that it will. New York has a great defense. I don't feel like Los Angeles does. They're not going to be able to hold down a Liberty team that has dominated first quarter so far this season. And I think they're averaging 26, 27 points per game in the first quarter. So I feel like they're good for 24 points against the Los Angeles Sparks. So that one looked really good to me. I put that one in, like I said. But I would be leaning, like I said, full game for the over. All right, that's going to wrap it up here for another episode of Let 'Em Ride. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed the show, you found it useful and helpful, please hit that like button. Please hit subscribe if you have not already. And please share if you can. It's all definitely appreciated. And don't forget to check down below in the pinned comment later on so you can see whatever plays that I'm rolling with for these games. And you can see if you would like to ride along with me or if you want to fade me. And whatever you choose to do, please throw that down in the comments down below. I want to see where you guys are at, what you've cooked up, what you're rolling with for these games. I want to know. Best of luck tonight. Bet responsibly, and I will see you guys on the next one.